There are no less than 30 lakes named West Lake in China, but the West Lake in Hangzhou is the best known of them all. It is located in Hangzhou, the capital of Zhejiang province on the southeastern coast, and the city is known as the paradise of the world in China. Thousands of years ago, the West Lake was connected to the sea. The Qiantang River, not far away from the West Lake, enters the sea in the eastern part of the area. Sediment deposited by the river eventually blocked the connection between the West Lake and the sea, making it an inland water feature. Since the 9th century AD, the beautiful scenery of the West Lake in all seasons has appeared time and again in poems, stories and legends. It's roughly estimated there are about 630 legends of the West Lake alone. In 2011, West Lake Cultural Landscape of Hangzhou was included on the World Heritage List. It is visited by an endless stream of international tourists. Perhaps some of them will add their own stories to West Lake's wealth of literature.
Deep in central China's Qinling Mountains, there are some mysterious wild animals in the untraversed area. Meet takin. It is perhaps one of the largest mammals on Earth that many people have never heard of. Without using drone, it's impossible to trace them and got this rare footage. Local conservationists said that they haven't seen these enigmatic creatures for more than a decade. These animals live in an inaccessible area at the altitude of 2,500 meters above sea level. Many people think that takin is a kind of cow because they are thick and strong, and adult individuals can even be as high as 2 meters or more. In fact, takins are not cows. They are closer to the family of goat antelope, with a pair of small horns, and the sound is similar to that of the antelope. They are alert to the looming appearance of drone, so when the drone approach them, we need to keep a friendly and safe distance with them. Now it is time for lunch. Let's hope our takin friends to have a good meal. The giant panda. You might think it's still an endangered species, but the good news is populations are on the rise due to enormous efforts by Chinese conservation programs using new breeding technology. By actively guiding adult pandas to mate, more and more panda babies are being born. But today, there is an even bigger challenge. Some of the panda cubs from these breeding programs are being reintroduced to the wild, their native home. The first thing they have to learn is how to climb trees. A panda cub is having a lesson in the forest. He is already 1.5 years old. That's his mother next to him, a wild giant panda. Mother and son are taken to a safe wild habitat and are set free to make their own way. The ability of young cubs to survive in the wild is mainly taught by their mothers. The most important skill is to climb trees. Because in this forest, they may encounter enemies such as other bears. The little panda seems to have no interest in practicing this new skill. But Mother is strict. She won't allow her son to be distracted. This is about life and death. Finally, our little panda climbs up to the top of a tree. See how sharp his claws are and the strength in his limbs. The most important thing he has acquired is great courage, a natural instinct he inherits from his wild panda mother. Now it's time to rest after a tiring day. Who's a big, strong boy then? In China, the red-crowned crane is regarded as a very special animal. According to zoologists, individual wild cranes can live to be 20 to 30 years of age. For the Chinese, it is often associated with luck, fidelity, and long life. In eastern China's coastal city of Qiantang, red-crowned cranes arrive each year for the winter. Among China's extensive large bird population, it is known for its elegance. This graceful creature has white feathers, a red crown on its head, and a beautiful and elegant posture. Red-crowned cranes are monogamous. They have strict needs when it comes to their living environment. They will only breed where the natural habitat is friendly. Compared with their breeding grounds thousands of miles away to the north, the water here never completely freezes over in winter. It's full of food, and they can hide among the reeds. But this longevity bird, so cherished by the Chinese people, is endangered because its natural habitat is fast disappearing. With only about 2,000 left in the world, 1,000 of them migrate to Qiantang and overwinter each year in the vast wetlands here. This is the largest group of red-crowned cranes in the world that continues to migrate. Thanks to local efforts in wetland protection and scientific measures to better look after this national treasure, the number of red-crowned cranes is now rising. The Qiantang wetland has become a paradise for red-crowned cranes, ensuring the longevity birds enjoy a long life on this planet. On the coastal wetlands by the Yellow Sea in eastern China, you'll notice a strange-looking deer walking around. It has a head shaped like a horse, giant antlers like a deer, hooves like a cow, and the tail of a donkey. These are Milu deer, a species native to China. But it disappeared from China for nearly 100 years. The fact that they have now returned to China is the result of a remarkable century-old animal protection collaboration between two countries. Archaeological studies have found that the Milu deer were once common in eastern China, but by the 19th century, their numbers had dropped drastically. Most of the Milu deer were raised in the emperor's hunting grounds outside Beijing. The Europeans who came to China at the time believed the species to be very rare, and many were taken back to Europe. When the emperor's hunting grounds were destroyed by heavy flooding, the Milu deer were lost, never to be seen in the area again. Luckily, there were the Milu deer that had been shipped to foreign countries. A duke in Britain had given shelter to 18 of these fortunate Milu deer, and they were well taken care of. By the mid-1980s, the Chinese government hoped the species could be restored in China once again, a suggestion supported by the Duke's descendants. In 1986, 39 of the Milu deer were flown to China from Britain, to their ancestral home in Dafeng County in Jiangsu Province. After 2 decades, the Milu deer population in China has increased to over 5,000, with nearly 1,350 roaming in the wild. Today, there is no longer any fears for their survival in their homeland. The Qiantang River is located in Zhejiang on the southeastern coast of China and flows into the East China Sea. Every year, on the 18th day of the 8th lunar month, people gather along its banks expectantly, eager for the arrival of the tide. The waters of Hangzhou Bay and the Qiantang River meet on the horizon, forming a thin white line. Hundreds of thousands of tons of water per second, the fusion of ocean and river dramatically tumble back towards the land. The sea wall contains the force of 7 tons per square meter. The waves can reach a maximum of 9 meters, about 3 stories high, and even taller than 4 of China's famous basketball player Yao Ming. The huge tides and waves do little to deter the bold. People jumped into the powerful waves as early as the Southern Song dynasty of China, more than 800 years ago. The people of the time called them the tide players. It looks so much like today's surfing, minus the surfboard. Today, the Qiantang River attracts thousands of people from far and wide for the annual tidal surfing competition. In winter, Arshan, a city in northern China, becomes a world of ice. Its rivers become frozen, all except one. Upstream of the Halhengol River, there is a stretch around 20 kilometers long. Even in winter, when the air temperature typically drops to minus 40 to 30 degrees Celsius, this section remains ice-free. People call it the Unfrozen River. Its secret lies deep beneath the riverbed, where the river passes over an area of geothermal activity near Arshan. The heat from below raises the temperature, allowing the river water to stay above freezing point, and so it remains ice-free. During the harsh winter, it even becomes a spa for animals. A group of cattle are strolling along the riverbank. They can't wait to wade through the water. Look closely, and you'll see steam rising from the surface of the river. Such a nice warm bath. Let's leave the cattle to enjoy it. In southern China, there is a famous road built across Poyang Lake, China's largest freshwater lake. The people of China call it the most beautiful road under the water. Towards the end of May every year, this road begins to attract a lot of attention. The color of the lake either side begins to change into two different tones. The surface of the road is so close to the water level of the lake. As you drive along, the view ahead is broad and bright. It feels as though you're riding a boat across the lake. People call it the road under the water. For the next few months, this road is no longer just above the surface, but deep underwater. As the water level of Poyang Lake rises, the road is gradually flooded. Although drivers can no longer see the road surface, they can still drive across safely by keeping within the guardrails on either side. For thrill-seeking motorists, it's like driving an amphibious supercar. As the water levels continue to rise, after a few days, the entire road will be completely submerged. Eventually, a few months later, the road reappears again.
During the winter in China's Heilongjiang province, it is not uncommon to see temperatures below minus 30 degrees Celsius. Despite the intense cold, flowers still find a way to bloom. In the right place, with the right conditions, these flowers spread across the tops of the trees. Every year, Kerbin enjoys a flower season of up to 4 months. This amazing ice flower spectacle can be experienced from December to March each year. Ice flowers are officially known as rime. In extremely cold weather, the nearby hydropower station continuously discharges hot water. The water vapour evaporates from the surface of the water, forming a dreamy, drifting white mist. Much of the water vapour turns into ice at night as temperatures drop, which then settles on the tree branches, creating this fantastical sight. As you walk beneath the trees covered with rime, sometimes you can hear the sound of ice crystals growing and then falling. The rime absorbs all the sounds around, creating a tranquil fairy tale world.
In Xinjiang, China, the beautiful scenery can often take miraculous forms. Anjihai town has become famous the world over due to one canyon in particular. The river, which originates in the Tian Shan Mountains, rushes down the steep slopes, carving its way through escarpments formed over millennia. The canyon is about 30 kilometers in length, with the valley floor being 300 to 400 meters at its widest, while the narrowest part is only 2 or 3 meters. From above, Anjihai Grand Canyon is rich in colors. On either side of the canyon, red sandstone and grey mudstone alternate to create an astonishing landscape. The colours are formed as the river erodes and dissolves the sandstone and mudstone, drawing abstract pictures on the land. It is one of the most beautiful and yet virtually unknown canyons in Xinjiang. Because it is so hidden, and the land on either side of the canyon are the same height, people sometimes come across it without warning. If they don't stop in time, then they could easily plunge off the cliff.